30 years back, we had just 4 billion people on this planet, right? Right now we have 8 billion people, right? So just, within 30 years, it's grown two times,
Yeah.
right? If I talk about South Africa, right? Now, see, it is going to be overpopulated country because of lack of education and so many things. Because it's somehow, this world failed. The politicians failed.
Hey, good evening. How are you today?
Yeah, doing exceptionally well, doing really well. Thanks. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. It is good to see you. Haven't seen you for a long time.
Yeah, it has been a long time. Yeah, I think.
What have you been busy?
Yeah, like doing things. Yeah, I have lots of work that I'm up with, right? So I have a tutoring center that I'm running. I have a YouTube channel, quite successful so far, So kind of, so I'm busy everywhere. I have my own website. So
That's good. That's good.
how are you
But
doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well. I'm in a different country right now,
Oh, yeah.
another country in Africa, because my husband works in Mozambique. And we haven't seen each other for a long time. So now I've come up here to visit him. However, the climate here is so different from where I live.
Okay.
So right now it's 33 degrees.
So quite hot.
It
Or
is extremely hot for me. It is.
yeah, it is hot. So like it would be kind of rainy season in South Africa. Is it?
Mm, Uh, You know, that's a good question. South
Hmm.
Africa is a very big country, and the city that I live in, we haven't had rains for 6 years.
Oh
In
gosh.
fact, exactly, I was just reading a message now that is warning us that the water levels have even dropped even lower, and there's a huge problem with the rain.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
but
water level is going down. I
mm,
mean, how do you fetch up water? What is available? Like we have submersibles, right? Like a kind of what can I say? Hand pump. Yeah.
a tank. Did you say tank?
No, it's not tank. Like we have a kind of a submersible which is able to bring out the water from ground, right? Underground
Yes.
water. Yeah.
Yes.
Like we don't have a well or river that we use, right?
Okay, so I think what you're referring to is a borehole. We call this kind of water system a borehole
Oh yeah,
system.
borehole. Yeah, right word. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
where you get the water from the ground, right?
Mhm.
No, in South Africa, 99% of the water that's
Mhm.
used for consumption comes from the dam or the reservoirs.
Oh.
Now, the dam and the reservoirs obviously rely on the natural rainfall to
Mm-hmm.
collect the water, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's supplied to households and businesses. Yes, we do have boreholes. For example, where my son lives, he is on a borehole system.
Mm-hmm.
So when we don't have water, we know that we can go to his house and have a shower and all of this, right?
Oh gosh, I can understand how difficult it would be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. For us,
Um,
fortunately, right now our water level is good, so every house has their own boreholes, right? So they do not have to go anywhere else. But I don't know about future. As far as water level is concerned here, it is also dropping down every day, right?
yeah. But I mean, like in your country, you have a huge advantage, I would say, because you have monsoon season, so you have
Yeah.
lots of rain.
Yeah, we have lots of rain. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Like you told me, there had not been rain since last 6, 7 years, right? After all, how this reservoir storage water?
Like how does the reservoir store the water?
Oh, yes. Because where from they get water? It has not been rain since last 6 years. You told me.
Yeah, so we don't have. There's nothing. The dams are empty.
Okay, empty. Gone.
That
Gone.
and even the water that is available, which is very little,
Hmm.
um, because the water levels are so low, the water is not. It's not so safe. It's not so clean.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we, okay, I don't usually drink the water from the tap, even if we didn't have the drought. Um, but not everyone in my country can afford to buy the
Buy
water,
water.
filtered water, right? There are
Hmm.
many underprivileged people that live here.
Hmm.
But there is a warning that has gone out in the news
Hmm.
that we shouldn't drink the water directly from the tap. If you're going to use the tap water for drinking or cooking purposes, you first need to boil it to
Hmm.
to sterilize it, you know?
Yes, sterilize it. Yeah. Got. Yeah, fortunately, we have enough water so far, but yeah, no one knows about future. But
Yeah.
anyway, we are enjoying right now. Like, yeah, a human being is reckless, so I don't know how long these resources are going to exhaust. But I think, look at 30 years back, we had just 4 billion people on this planet, right? Right now we have 8 billion people, right? So just, within 30 years, it's grown two times,
Yeah.
right? And I think, by next 15 years, I feel like it would be 24 billion people in this planet. I don't know, but the data says only human population, the peak of human population will be 15 million, right? 15
Yeah.
million. But I don't feel like, I feel, it will go more than 30 million, right? Because the way I can see the doubling this data, right? So it is clearly showing that by, right now we are in 2023. So I feel like, 38, just, or 40, 2040, by 2040, the human population will be 24 billion. And I don't know how we will be able to manage resources. Yeah, we are going to exhaust everything that is right now, whether it is natural resources or what kind of resources, whatever resources we have, right? So that is also a question now. I don't
That
know,
is a
scientists are, yeah.
no, please continue.
Yeah, I know scientists are just, making like they are busy to make lots of gadgets, instruments, but they would have to also look for these solutions, right? So how to manage food for them, how to manage water in future, right? Or even trees are being cut every day. So
Yeah.
how would we will get oxygen in future, right? Maybe uh, we would have some artificial oxygen or something like that. I don't know what we are gonna do in future, but definitely this is a question which is, is stuck in my mind.
Yeah, and it's actually it's a good thing that you're thinking about it. And I think, a lot of us we question this, we think about it. But the thing is, it doesn't help us thinking about it. You and I, the regular people in the world,
Hmm.
we don't have the resources and we
Hmm.
don't have the manpower to make a change, to make a difference in a way that's needed. Yes, there are things that we can do on a very basic and small level, in our daily lives, um, that would be what's the word, that would help the current situation, right? And I think all of us, every human being, we need to do our share to help the environment. However, the thing that I cannot understand is, yes, it's very real. What everything that you mentioned is so real, and the possibility is so great of it happening. And this is not going to affect us so much because we'll probably be dead and gone, right?
Hmm.
But it is our children, the future, the
No, I
future.
no, I don't feel like we would be gone by, if I talk about 2040. Right now, we have medical assistants, so we nobody knows about their death, right? So it's different thing. But as far as human approximate lifespan is concerned, I think I would be alive by up to 2050 maybe, and by then Earth would be totally a different place, because I am kind of curious guy, so I look into things, right? So I remember when I was very child, 15 years back, how was the condition of my village, right? So the place where I used to play, there used to be playground, there used to be tree, that place has been taken by human beings, and they have made house there right now, okay? So the place now which was vacant has been filled by human being. In future, I don't know where they're going to live, because the population, country like India, it surpassed the population of China right now, so just a
Wow.
few months back, right?
Wow.
So the population surpassed China's, and one of the youngest countries is India, right? And I think India is still not educated, well educated, to understand, what can be the consequences of producing so many childs in future, right? So that's what also a problem right now. If I talk about South Africa, right now, see, it is going to be overpopulated country because of lack of education and so many things. Because it's somehow, this world failed, the politicians failed to manage things well. In some countries like South Africa, India, yeah, I know other every country has their own issues. So I'm not, talking about things. I'm just
Mm.
generalizing the things. Somehow these politicians failed to manage things well, right? And the whole world in the hand of politicians, right? So whatever
Exactly.
politicians are doing, we are just kind of, what can I say? That was the good word,
We are like the puppets in a puppet
puppets.
show.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was looking for this
Yeah.
word. We are just
Yeah.
puppets. Yeah. So that's what I think sometimes. So we need to have a wise politicians who can look into these things, but no politicians are able to look up to this point. They
Exactly.
are just looking for their 5 years tenure, that how are they gonna win the next election once again, right?
Absolutely. And that's the point I was going to make.
Mhm.
We need the politicians. They are the people that can bring about a change. Um, what, and I just want to quickly say that with COVID-19 is a great example, because COVID, it affected everyone in the world. And suddenly all the politicians woke up and they
Mhm.
started doing what needed to be done,
Mhm.
because people were dying at such a rapid rate and they could
Mhm.
see it, they could physically see it.
Mhm.
And so there was a great reaction from every person that mattered in the world for COVID 19. But then when you compare COVID 19 to global warming and the impacts, the consequences of the negative consequences of global warming, the same politicians that had such a great reaction to trying to contain and solve COVID-19,
Mhm.
these are the same people that worked very well to do that when they saw the world under attack by a
Mhm.
virus. The
Mhm.
world is under attack at the moment when it comes to global warming, but the
Mhm.
same politicians will not do nearly enough
The problem
to
is,
save the planet.
yeah, the problem is that, that is, I think, tendency of human being. When you get into the danger, then only you seek solutions. You do not
What
prepare before. Yeah.
it's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. So that's what politicians are doing. I don't feel like, I don't know why political systems, after hierarchy, that kingdom system, why political system came in this world. Yeah, it is good democracy, but after all, you look at the democracy, it is also not doing any kind of welfare for human beings, right? Yeah.
No, it's a democracy in black and white on the
Yeah.
paperwork.
Yeah.
in
Paperwork.
reality, in reality, it's something else, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we need to tackle things, like we need to prepare everything before the calamities or disaster, right? But when we know it, after all, we are not preparing, right? We have
yeah,
atom bombs. We have so many atom bombs which can destroy the whole world thrice, three
yeah,
times. We
yeah,
have used the resource for those things, but not looking into these matters.
yeah. It's a great point that you make. Look, we're running out of time very quickly, but it was
Yeah.
fantastic to see you and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you. Goodbye.